Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try an electric competition buggy. I picked up the Tekno EB410.2, and this is a 1/10 scale 4x4 electric competition buggy. This is definitely something new for me. I've done big rigs, I've done crawlers, I've done bashers. I have never done a competition buggy. So this buggy came in a few days ago. I couldn't wait. I did open it up. I did check out everything inside. Inside the box, you have the shell. This is the buggy body shell. I gotta figure out something cool, some kind of paint scheme for this. You have the rear clear wing. This will stay clear. And you have various parts bags. There are a ton of parts in here. Everything's labeled real nice. So it shouldn't be too bad to put together, but it looks like everything is mainly in 2 large bags. I really don't want to start pulling these apart, because if I do, I'm afraid I might misplace something or get things screwed up. I'd rather keep things grouped together. And at the bottom of the box you have the chassis, and you have a variety of different fluids, grease, looks like Loctite. I think these are for the different differentials, as well as maybe some shock oil. And when I opened the box up originally, there were some things at the very bottom, including the masks for the windows, the manual, the building instructions, and some stickers to complete the look of the shell. Now I was just quickly flipping through this manual, and this thing looks amazing. There are clear pictures, notes, there are plenty of detail. I really am not intimidated by this build whatsoever. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward, and I just can't wait to get it together. In the front of the book, it does actually show you the additional equipment that you do need: 2-channel radio receiver, 1/10 scale ESC motor system, a servo, either a low profile or a standard size high torque servo, 2S shorty LiPo battery, of course paint, the wheels and tires, and a pinion gear. I have most of the stuff. I still am waiting for a few things to come in, but I will show you what I do have for this kit. Starting off with the servo, I picked up the Tekin. This is the 130, the T130. According to the manual, they recommend a servo that has at least 180 inches of torque. And on this servo, your dynamic, your torque, showing 148. But on the dynamic it's showing 190 inches. I think this should be good. This servo is adjustable using the hot wire. Just have to have a PC. You cannot use the Bluetooth hot wire. You have to use the one that plugs directly into the computer. You have the app or the program on your computer, and you can tune the servo. I really wish they had a port, something so you could tune it to the Bluetooth, but that's okay. Still very adjustable, very tunable using your PC. The servo looks great. It's got a great casing, great design with the gunmetal, the black to the red, and the servo comes with an aluminum servo horn. So I'll be all set in that department. The servo also comes with a bag's part, if you will, different pieces that I never end up using, but I use maybe the one screw out here, but the rest of it I usually don't use. So moving right along to the ESC, I went with a RSX Pro. After doing a lot of research, this was the ESC that stuck out the most to me. So this was the direction I went. Now this ESC is capable of 2 to 3S LiPo. I will mostly be running this car on 2S, and it should be great in this build as well. And in the packaging you get some wires. You get the fan that will hook up to the top of the ESC to help keep it cool. There is the capacitor, resistor, I forget exactly what that's called, but yeah, that's included with some zip ties and some double stick tape. And of course you get a full direction sheet. This will walk you through setting everything up, getting everything the way you want it, but this is also compatible with the hot wire. This is compatible with the Bluetooth hot wire. I can adjust everything right from my phone. The one thing about Tekin Electronics, they stick these things to this cardboard, and I don't know what kind of glue they use, but it is the strongest, rubber cement, what have you, and it takes forever to get off. And that's usually what happens. The paper comes off with the ESC. And I think I'll just go ahead and wait and peel the rest of that glue off later. It's going to be a project. Now for the receiver, I have a Spektrum DX5R. That's the radio I've been using for a long time. So for this car, I picked up the SR2100. This is a antenna-less, a wireless, well, not wireless, but it's an antenna-less receiver. And this is all that there is to it. I guess it is wireless. Very small, should fit right in with no issues, and I can use my DX5R with this receiver. Now the last two items that I do have, I have the Pro line. This is the tire glue. I do not have wheels or tires for this yet, but I have the glue. So yeah, I gotta get some tires and wheels. And I also picked up a ProTek RC Shorty Graphene battery. This is 4900 milliamps, 2-cell, 120C discharge. I actually saw this battery watching the RC network, and this was the battery that he used on his 410.2 build. So I'm going to give it a go. I found out that my Venom Pro Quad charger will charge this battery, but I had to order separate charging leads, wires if you will. Again, first time getting into something like this, so I'm learning along the way. I didn't realize that this type of battery would need wires that were purchased separately. I thought I could maybe make something to plug in to charge, but I found it was easier just to order a set of wires off Amazon. They're not here yet, but the car's not built yet, so no big deal. They should be here today, I think, actually. But also in the packaging, you get the bullets that plug in, so you hook your wires from the ESC, solder on these bullets, and then these would plug directly in. And from everything I've seen, this looks like a solid battery choice. So besides the wheels and tires, I guess the only other thing I don't have is the motor. I still need to get something for that. Looking at a Tekin motor to match up with the ESC, but haven't gotten that in yet. The other thing that I already have is paint. So I am ready to paint this, as well as if you follow my channel, you realize that I have some other projects that aren't finished yet. I have the axial capper that's still not painted. And I have the Vanquish VS410 Pro that still needs to be painted, as well as some assembly needs to be finished. So I most likely will paint all these together, but I'll get the chassis, this buggy built, and then when the weather breaks a little bit and I get a decent day, I'll go out, get everything painted up, start finishing up some of these projects that I have. I guess the last thing I will say is that there are some great channels out there if you're interested in some of the technical details and some more information about the Tekno products or even racing. Channels like the RC Network, NetCruiser, Scottzilla, those guys, they're in the racing. Kind of learned a lot as I was trying to put together this build as far as the parts and what I was going to need. Learned a lot by watching their videos. They are way more experienced and know way more than I do. I will learn as I build my first competition buggy. So please make sure you tune back in as I get this thing built. I'll try to give updates as I can as this thing is coming together. And I will point out kind of my thoughts, what's working well, maybe what's not working well, as I go through the build. If you're a diehard racer, sorry, I'm not the guy that's going to give the details, the specs, and all that good stuff. You got to start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting. So anyway, if you like what you saw, please click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a great day. I will see everyone soon. Bye for now.